Let's go, my friends. It is Boss Rush here, the final mile. We're getting so close. Stage 27, hard mode S-Cake Witch. We're going to break it all down for you in today's episode as the #1 free-to-play player and give you the fast teams to help you complete this here as we get towards the end. With that, thank you for tuning in. As always, appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow an amazing community here. Additionally, if you got a question or comment along the way, do let me know. I love to hear from you, and we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server, my friends. All right, so you're here for the S-Cake Witch stage 27 hard. Let's go. So first and foremost, make sure you collect that supply chest. Absolutely get that done. We want these rewards and we want to keep pushing the suppression level, my friends. We are almost there. Look at that, 96. Oh, so close. 4 levels left, then we're at max. Going to be awesome. Regardless, this is going to be awesome. So stage 27, let's get into it here. First and foremost, a couple of things. As always, we do have these special conditions. Important to call this out. Min Beasuit levels 20, Min Cookie levels 90, skill level is also 90. Everything else doesn't matter. That research, what does though is that Beasuits, those toppings and those tarts, your gear matters. We get all the gear guides here always available to you on the channel, so you can check those out. All right, the first rule though of Boss Rush is the boss information. Please read this. It's going to give you some tips and tricks to help you get by for your synergy list. First, we have the boss summons a poisonous cloud that deals periodic damage and receives increased light type damage. We have the second one here, the boss receives increased fire type damage, and the third one, the boss receives increased poison type damage. Good news is each one of these we have run. We're going to cover a couple different mix-ups here for you today so that you can think about what's going to help you be set up for success here in your version of Boss Rush, or Boss Rush as it is. Okay, so let's go ahead. The first one that we need to do though is this: the boss summons a poisonous cloud that deals periodic damage, which can wipe your team and receives increased light type damage. So let's go ahead and find the team that's going to make this one work for us, and that one will be this. We made a couple changes. In the past, what we've done is kind of spread it between ice and shield of light, or the light type. Today, we're just going fully in on light. And in doing so, we've swapped some things in here. We do have the sparkling cookie here that you can use. And then additionally here, we've swapped in Madeline as well. And then we've also moved in Burning Spice. This team does a good job for us in terms of that damage and amplification. Again, with Linzer, make sure you're running Linzer. And this is also another swap. So we're covered between healing here and then making sure we get amplification here. And then lots and lots of damage here on the light type. Additionally with Burning Spice, because of this right here, everything becomes light type damage. We've got a lot of great things here on immunity, amplifying buff, teams gaining HP, heals team, all kinds of stuff like that to make sure you get some additional survivability. You can do it with the Frost team that I was talking about. In that case, you're swapping in Frost Queen and a few other things too, or you can mix and match on some other ideas. The nice thing here is a lot of this stuff is available to you in the mileage shop, so as the free-to-play player, you're able to get access to a lot of these things to help you. If you don't have them, then look at some of these swaps here, particularly these two. Put in a charge cookie, put in another healer, and that's going to help you get by from those perspectives. And if you're wondering on how to do that, you can go to filter here, remove all types, go to healing. You can see some availability, or what is available from those perspectives, my friends. Okay, so there we go in terms of that breakdown. Now let's check out the gear. Ideally, you're just going to want to be all in on as much attack as possible. If you're struggling to get by on some of the healing, make sure that you have some defense or damage resist in here. That's going to help you. Ideally, loading into that light type damage is going to be very, very helpful. Here we're on crit and cooldown. Here we got a lot more attack. Here we got attack. Again, lots of tweaking that we can make to make this stuff better. We got speed. Here we got healing, survivability, and then healing and survivability for cooldown on both of these. All right, so there we go. This is our first team to run stage 27. Let's go and use up our ticket. I think it's going to be about 2 in terms of attempting to get by the first phase here of this Cake Witch, my friends. Now, it does deal a great amount of damage, and as you can see down here below, look at how much healing we're doing to try and keep everything alive. Very, very important, because that cloud of poison can wipe you out. All right, there we go. 73%, not bad. We're going to do it again. Here we go. All right, and then what we will do is we will pause pretty much almost immediately to get a better score in time. As we conclude, there we go. All right, so taking advantage of that. The other thing is you can always look at your stats. I don't know if a lot of players know this, but you can pause and take a look at those things as well. Okay, so by exiting, we're going to save 25 seconds. We're going to get 4 to 5 seconds of loss as we move into the next team. That is okay though, so we're going to exit because we want to take advantage of that. We've cleared through that first piece. Okay, the next one here though is going to be this. So now we have the boss receives increased fire type damage. This is a great one. This has been a fairly consistent team for us in terms of lots of the boss rush. It's really this one here in slot 4, which is really taking access or advantage of Torrent of Flame, Darkness Overlord, and last but not least, Vision of Lightning. What I like doing is running the double Stormbringer so that you get the overcharge in there. Additionally, I like the breakdown up here, amplification of additional fire here with Nutmeg Tiger and some of those buffs, making sure you have Linzer in there, high damage dealers, Burning Spice, those kinds of things. All right, in terms of the gear here, once again, we're on crit. Here we're on cooldown. You can move to attack if you want. We got a lot of attack speed there. We got our attack. We've done Linzer. Here we're on crit. Cooldown, we don't need damage resist bypass. You can move something more towards attack. That's going to help you get a little bit better. Cooldown here, and then last but not least, more attack there as well. All right, and then again, don't forget, by taking advantage of these things, we're right in that level 3 slot. Can also be super helpful for you and your team. Now, if you don't have those cookies, like I said, you can move it around. If you got that suppression spear just like that, let's go ahead and take advantage of one more uptick there. We're getting almost that 100. We're gonna get there, my friends. All right, so now we're into this second piece here. Once again, the boss receives increased fire type damage. Let's go. We should be able to get through this, I think, in 1. So not bad. Let's see how this goes. Look at that. Tons and tons and tons of damage there, my friends. Look at that. Look at that. Now, as we move into this next phase, let's grab our 5 seconds. There we go. We still got our 5 seconds. You can keep the damage going if you'd like to. I'm going to take advantage of that 5 seconds here once again. So we're going to exit. Absolutely crushed that. That team is so solid for me. And that's huge in terms of getting by with 1 ticket. Now we're into our final piece here, my friends. We have the boss receives increased poison type damage, okay? So let's go ahead and find the team that's going to work through this for us. It's going to be this one here on 8. Very, very nice from this perspective. We do have Shadow of Venom, Waves of Depth, Torrent of Flame, Echoes of Power, Bittersweet Curse, and Hunter's Instinct here. Now, a couple things that you can do if you're looking to change things around. We do have Star Coral in there. You could maybe try this one right here. Everyone's favorite Black Sapphire Cookie instead of Star Coral for some of these additional stacks. If you'd like to, you get additional poison stacks when these are in there with Candy Apple and Shadow Milk as an example. Maybe you want to pull up Burning Spice and try some of those things instead. Maybe you want to swap this one in. You can go through practice and see which one's going to give you some better damage, again, depending on your team and those perspectives. If we do swap that in though, we will end up falling down in terms of the stars, so just make sure that you're paying attention to those as well. It's gonna be actually pretty close. It just really depends from that perspective. We're gonna stick with this team here though. Again, the biggest ones are these and these active synergies, so you just got to make sure that you're aligning to those. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gear here. We're on cooldown again, still attack. Here we're on lots of attack with cooldown. Here we're on attack. Here we're on cooldown. We got Linzer again, and then cooldown there. All right, my friends, everything that you need to know. Let's get going here. If you still got a question or comment though, do let me know. And we'd love to see you in our Discord server. Great time to like and subscribe. All right, here we go as we take on the Cake Witch for that last piece and phase. Probably gonna take us at least 2 tickets. We'll see here. You want to get these stacked. You can see how fast this really starts to move towards the back part. We're under the 50%. So close, my friends. 5 billion into the one more ticket here. Here we go. Taking this thing on. Here we are, just about to close this one down and out. And done. Look at that. We have now done it in about 3 minutes. Not bad. S-Cake Witch completion for us here today, my friends. Absolutely rocking it. Get some great rewards there that we can take advantage of. Many people are asking me about those tickets. Great ways to get those gotcha fates and stack those things as well. Now we're on to 28, my friends. However, we've concluded 27 today, stage 27. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. If you still got a question, if you got a comment, let me know. I love to hear from you. We'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server, my friends. Additionally, thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs, and thank you so much to all of our members. We appreciate everyone very much and growing this amazing community. Additionally, we do have affiliate links, swag, and merch that you can check out. All nice ways to support and stay in touch with my socials. At me, chat me, stay connected, my friends. With that, best of luck here. We got more CookieRun on the channel coming to you all the time. With that, until next time, my friends, keep on running.